Have you ever noticed how some men barely open their mouths, yet women never forget them, while others talk endlessly and vanish from memory like smoke? The difference is brutal and simple. It's not charm. It's not clever stories. It's not showing off. The difference is questions. Not weak, boring, surface-level questions that every average guy throws around, but questions that cut deep. Questions that bypass her defenses, shake her emotions, and make her reveal the side of herself she hides from everyone else. Most men will never ask these questions. They're too afraid of silence, too desperate to impress, too weak to dig beneath the surface. But when you do, you don't just talk, you leave an imprint. You anchor yourself into her mind. You become unforgettable. Today, I'll give you 15 of these questions. Psychological triggers designed to ignite emotion so strong she will associate them with you, and you alone. Some of these will make her laugh, others will disarm her, and a few will expose her rawest truths. And listen carefully, number 8 is the kill shot. The one that changes everything. Question 1. What makes you feel fulfilled? Forget asking, what do you do, or what are your hobbies? Those are dead, useless questions. Every weak man asks them. This question, though, this slices straight into her soul. When you ask a woman what makes her feel fulfilled, you force her to reveal what her life really means to her. Pay attention to her answer. If she says helping others, she's fueled by empathy. If she says success, she's hungry for ambition. If she says freedom, travel, or adventure, she's chasing intensity. But here's the truth most men miss. When she gives you this answer, she's not giving you trivia, she's handing you her emotional blueprint. Understand this, every woman is desperate to be seen. And the man who maps her fulfillment isn't just remembered. He's branded into her memory. She may forget the guys who bought her drinks, the ones who tried to show off, the ones who begged for attention. But she will not forget the man who dared to uncover what fuels her fire. Question 2. What attracts you most in a man? Most men are terrified of this question. Why? Because they know the answer might expose them. But that's exactly why you ask it. Women are usually the judges in silence. They look at men, they measure, they test. Rarely do they ever say it out loud. But when you flip the game and demand her to voice it, you trigger something powerful. The moment she says it, she doesn't just think it, her brain starts reinforcing it. If she says confidence, hold your frame. If she says humor, drop your timing with precision. If she says intelligence, guide the talk with sharpness and depth. But here's the golden rule, never announce it. Never say, I'm that. Discovery crushes declaration every single time. When she connects her desire to you on her own terms, you don't just enter her conversation, you invade her imagination. And once you're in there, you're hard to erase. Question 3. What bothers you most in a man? Most men run from this question like cowards because they're scared of the truth. But you? You lean in. Because this question is a weapon. When she answers, she hands you a map of every landmine that has destroyed her attraction before. If she says insecurity, it means she once suffered with a man who drowned her with doubt. If she says arrogance, it means she craves confidence but despises ego. If she says laziness, it means she worships vision and drive. Each answer is a scar. A wound from her past that turned into a rule. And here's where you dominate. Don't defend. Don't justify. Just nod and say, that makes sense. Simple. Direct. In that moment, you separate yourself from every man who tried to argue, every man who begged for her approval. You position yourself as the one who listens, who reads between the lines, who adapts. Attraction isn't just built by showing what you are. It's protected by proving what you're not. When she sees you're far from the men who repelled her before, you become the rare man she cannot ignore. Question 4. Who was your first love as a child? This one is nuclear. Why? Because it forces her to return to a place where emotions were raw, unfiltered, and unforgettable. Childhood love isn't logical, it's primal. A glance felt eternal. A smile felt like oxygen. When you ask this, you rip her out of the dull present and pull her back into nostalgia. Nostalgia is the strongest bridge to trust. She'll laugh about how innocent it was, or she might feel the sting of how quickly it ended. Either way, you're not just talking to the woman she is now. You're exposing the girl she once was. And that side of her does not come out easily. The secret is in the follow-up. Ask her, what was it about him that made him special? Or, do you think your way of loving has changed since then? These questions turn a simple memory into a mirror. Suddenly, she's connecting her past to her present. And you're the man guiding her through it. That bond is rare. And once you unlock it, you're unforgettable. Question 5. When you were a child, how did you imagine your life as an adult? This is not just small talk. This is excavation. This question drags her back to the time before fear, before failures, before society crushed her dreams into realistic cages. Maybe she wanted to be a singer. Maybe she saw herself exploring the world. Maybe she imagined a perfect home and family. Whatever she says, it's her essence, untouched and pure. Sometimes those dreams match her life now. Often they don't. And in that gap lies the truth of who she really is. That's where you sit silently, like a mirror. You ask, why do you think you dreamed of that, or, do you still want it deep down? You don't mock. You don't interrupt. You let her reflect, laugh, or even ache a little. Because in that space, she feels safe, and safety is what makes women attach. Most men only chase the woman in front of them. But the man who sees the little girl inside her, the dreamer, the fighter, the one who still exists beneath all the layers, that's the man she will never forget. Question 6. What's your guilty pleasure? This one is lethal because it does 3 things instantly. It disarms her, it builds playfulness, and it breeds intimacy. A guilty pleasure is private. Hidden. Maybe silly, indulgent, or even a little embarrassing. When you ask this, you signal one thing: you're the man who gives her permission to drop her mask. She might confess she eats chocolate in secret at midnight. Maybe she binges trashy shows she'd never admit to her friends. Maybe she listens to the same cheesy song on repeat when nobody's watching. Whatever it is, her answer comes with a smile. And that smile is the key. The weak man mocks or dismisses. You don't. You lean in. You say, that actually says a lot about you. Or you tease lightly, careful, now you've got me picturing it too. You make the moment fun, but safe. Playful, but accepting. Here's the deeper psychology. Every woman hides her quirks. She fears judgment. But when you accept those flaws without hesitation, you give her something priceless: freedom. Freedom to be raw. Freedom to be real. And when a woman feels free with you, she opens up deeper. She attaches harder. That's the kind of bond that doesn't fade. Question 7. What do you value most in a relationship? Most men are terrified of this question because it exposes them. But that's exactly why you ask it. You don't tiptoe around what she wants, you drag it out of her. If she says loyalty, it means she's been betrayed. If she says trust, it means she's been lied to. If she says passion, it means she's starved of intensity. Her answer is not random, it's her wound screaming for healing. And when she tells you, she's not just answering you, she's confessing. Here's where you dominate. Don't nod politely like every nice guy. Instead, lock in with a steady look and say, "Good." Because without that, everything else collapses. That sharp agreement tells her you're not another man begging to fit into her frame, you're a man with your own. And women crave men with frames stronger than theirs. Question 8. What's the most unforgettable moment of your life? This is the kill shot. The one that embeds you in her memory. Why? Because memory is emotion. And emotion is attachment. When she shares her most unforgettable moment, whether joy, pain, success, or heartbreak, you're not just hearing a story. You're walking through the core of her identity. This is the fingerprint of her soul. And most men will never, ever touch it. Here's the move: don't rush. Don't joke. Let her feel it. If it's happy, let her relive it. If it's painful, let her bleed it out. Then hit her with the question that sears you into her mind: do you think that moment still shapes who you are today? That question is lethal. Because now, every time she replays that memory in her head, she'll remember you, the man who dared to dig it out and make her reflect on it. She won't forget you, because you've tied yourself to the strongest memory she owns. Question 9. What do you fear losing the most? Fear is raw power. Every woman hides it, but when you pull it out, you strip her mask clean off. Maybe she fears losing her family. Maybe her freedom. Maybe her independence. Whatever she says, it's her core vulnerability. Weak men never touch this. They're too busy pretending, too afraid of discomfort. But you? You thrive on it. And here's the truth: when a woman tells you her fear, she's placing trust in your hands. That trust is priceless. Don't mock. Don't soothe. Just absorb it. And then say, "That tells me what matters most to you. I won't forget that." Suddenly, you're not just a man she talks to, you're the man who knows her deepest weakness. And once she lets you in that deep, there's no going back. Question 10. What's the wildest thing you've ever done? This one flips the game instantly. It snaps her out of logic and throws her into adrenaline. When she answers, you see her hidden side, the risk-taker, the rebel, the thrill-seeker. Maybe she snuck out at night. Maybe she traveled alone. Maybe she did something reckless she still can't believe. Whatever it is, it's the part of her she usually hides under a respectable image. Your job: don't laugh like a schoolboy. Don't act shocked. Instead, smirk. Say, "I like that. That's the real you coming out." That line tells her you see her, you accept her, and you're not intimidated by her edge. Most men can't handle that side of her. You can. And once she feels you can handle her wildness, she'll show you more of it. Question 11. What do you think most people misunderstand about you? This question slices through her social mask. Every woman has a front she shows the world, and behind it is a truth almost nobody sees. This question forces her to reveal it. Maybe people think she's cold when she's really guarded. Maybe they think she's confident when she's secretly insecure. Whatever it is, it's the side of her she wishes someone would finally notice. And when she tells you, she feels relief. Finally, someone isn't seeing the mask, they're seeing her. And here's your edge: don't gush. Don't overvalidate. Just say, "That makes sense. I can see that now." Short, sharp, powerful. That response tells her you're not just another man falling for appearances, you're a man who sees through them. Question 12. what's the biggest risk you've ever taken? Life is defined by risks. And women remember the times they gambled everything. Maybe it was quitting a job. Maybe it was moving to a new city. Maybe it was confessing love. Whatever it was, the moment shaped her identity. By asking, you position yourself as the man who doesn't just care about her comfort zone, you care about her battles. When she answers, push further, would you do it again? That one line forces her to reveal her courage, or her regret. Either way, you're making her confront the raw truth of who she is. And that's why she won't forget you. Question 13. If you could relive one day of your life, which would it be? This question is brutal because it makes her choose. Out of every day she's lived, which one carries the most weight? Which day burns in her chest enough to want it back? It might be a perfect day of joy. It might be a day of pain she wishes she could change. Either way, you're making her reveal the day her heart still beats for. And here's where you own the frame. When she tells you, don't just nod. Ask, what made that day so powerful? That question deepens the memory, etches it into her present, and ties you into it. You're no longer just a conversation. You're the man who pulled her deepest memory into the light. Question 14. What's the biggest lesson life has taught you? This is where you see her scars. Her wisdom. Her battles. Everyone has a lesson beaten into them by life, and when she reveals it, she's handing you the story of her survival. Maybe life taught her to be strong. Maybe to be cautious. Maybe to be fearless. Whatever it is, it's the foundation of who she is now. And when she tells you, hit her with this, that explains why you carry yourself the way you do. That one line is devastatingly powerful. Because it proves you're not just listening to her words, you're seeing how those words built her. And no man does that. Question 15. If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? This is the final strike. The legacy question. The one that makes her strip away all pretenses and reveal her ultimate desire. Every woman wants to be remembered for something. Kindness. Strength. Brilliance. Love. Whatever she says, it's her legacy, her immortality. And when she tells you, she's not just talking about the future. She's confessing the deepest need of her soul. Your response is everything. Don't flatter. Don't romanticize. Just give her this. That's powerful. That's exactly how people will remember you. That sentence brands itself into her mind. Because you're not just hearing her legacy, you're affirming it. Now you understand the difference. While other men waste time with empty talk, you're carving into the core of her being. Every question slices through layers until she's bare. Vulnerable. Open. And in that space, you're not just another man. You are unforgettable. 15 questions. 15 triggers. 15 ways to dominate her memory so completely that even when the conversation ends, you stay alive inside her. And remember, number 8? That's the one that locks you in forever.